Welcome to our living room. This is From the Disney Couch. You're joining us on our quest for the ultimate Disney movie. Tonight's movie...
The Great Mouse Detective! That's not the actual theme song.
I have never seen The Great Mouse Detective in my entire life.
Me neither.
And I actually don't know what it's about. I mean, I'm
about
assuming...
a Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah, I guess in my mind I kind of picture the rescuers, but...
I think it's kind of the rescuers meet Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen it once.
I don't think...
Yeah, seem to recall some Sherlock Holmesy vibes.
Cute.
I remember watching it when I was younger, and I seem to remember liking it a lot, so I think I'm gonna still enjoy this.
We're kind of in the midst of the dark ages of Disney, where a lot of these movies are kind of unknown.
This movie was released in '86, and it's kind of a turning point in Disney because Black Cauldron was an absolute flop. Like, it was bad. But they released The Great Mouse Detective, and it actually made money. And it made people at Disney Studios say, hey fellas, maybe this animation stuff isn't dead yet. Mm-hmm. And so the guys that directed The Great Mouse Detective went on to direct The Little Mermaid and all the rest. And so this actually set the stage for the Disney Renaissance. But I've still never seen the movie.
Grab your popcorn, because it's time for The Great Mouse Detective.
Sherlock now.
Yeah, we just had finished watching Sherlock on Netflix, and so this was really good timing because there was just so many great Sherlock references, obviously, through this whole movie, and so if you're a fan of Baker Street, then
you want to see it in the mouse version.
Yeah.
And we just finished watching The Rescuers too, so, you know,
yeah,
it all comes together.
I'm pretty sure it was the same universe. It kind of had, like, the little mice versions of everything that the humans did, just like kind of hidden right there among the humans.
And I mean, I did enjoy this movie. It had a lot of kind of slapstick comedy. It had a lot of the villain. Like, it really almost highlighted the villain more than even the main characters, which I wasn't crazy about. It almost seemed like there was too much of Ratigan's issues on screen.
Yeah, but he did sing a song, and so we were wondering, is this the beginning of the villain songs? We're trying to think if there were any other... Yeah, but Cruella didn't sing a song. This is the first time that we can recall in our dim memories that the villain sings a song at, you know, about a third of the way through the movie. And so I have a feeling we're going to be seeing that fairly often.
Yeah. I mean, he was pretty evil. He just, like, flaunted it. All he ever did was monologue, and he did all the classic villain moves. Like, you know, get a prolonged death for the hero, and then just leave instead of watching it happen. You know, cackling maniacally, I've won! When he hasn't actually won. Yeah.
But I thought Vincent Price did a good job voicing Ratigan. That was fun to see the name of Vincent Price on a Disney movie. Those are two things that I would never associate with one another.
It kind of, for me, by the end, it got just a little bit boring. It's like, okay, chase scene, okay, all right, finally the villain is gone. But you never hear about any of these characters, ever.
No, especially Fidget, the one-legged, peg-legged bat.
He was probably one of the most annoying henchmen, and he looked almost identical to the henchman from the Black Cauldron, just a bat instead of a goblin. It was almost the same character.
And the other interesting voice was the voice of Sherlock Holmes. So the human Sherlock Holmes is in this movie, just in one scene.
Briefly.
And they got the actor who played Sherlock Holmes, Basil Rathbone, in a lot of movies to voice it, except he was dead. He'd been dead for 19 years, so they found a recording of him reading.
It's introspective, and I want to introspect.
An Arthur Conan Doyle Sherlock Holmes book, and they lifted that audio for that scene with Sherlock Holmes. So I thought that was kind of clever and a good nod to a famous Sherlock actor.
And I got chills in the clocks.
Because it was so stunningly animated?
Intensity.
Yeah, I think it might have been computer animated.
Actually, it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. I know was pretty good for the 80s.
The plot is less fun, you know, than it was when I was 8, but or also the bar song has a little more meaning now, and I'm like, ooh.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
The scantily clad singing mouse singing to a bunch of drunken mice.
Yeah.
And
kind of
didn't
awkward.
use the pot at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Not
was-
sure why it was there.
Like, yeah, it's stuck in my brain for a reason, and the reason is it's really awkward.
Yeah, definitely. The bosomy barmaid mouse.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
What was with Disney in the 80s and
Yeah.
bosomy characters?
Yeah.
Like, really? Walt,
Tacky.
what were you thinking then?
He's gone.
That's it.
Oh, well, there's your problem.
And it was the 80s.
Yes. Let's find out how Disney, the great mouse detective, is. To the church!
Yes.
Du-du-du-du.
The kiss. It's no romance.
No,
No.
no romance.
Nothing.
Do it.
Well, unless you count the barmaid song,
No, she wasn't the barmaid.
No,
She's
she-
the singer.
you'll do it.
Hit song. It's a hit for those bar people.
I'm the greatest mastermind.
So I couldn't find anything about any hit songs or any awards or anything like that, and we certainly weren't singing anything at the end of this movie, so yeah. There was a villain song, but yeah, not a hit song.
Witchy villain.
No.
No witchcraft.
No
Just
magic.
Diabolical planning.
And
Yeah.
diabolical mechanical wizardry.
Yeah, but it wasn't even his.
Yeah, he had
He
to
hired some toy maker. Like, why can't he hire like a mechanic who like shared his evil viewpoints? He had to like hold some poor little toy maker hostage.
because nobody makes evil robot queen impersonators like toy makers.
And they have cute little daughters.
Yeah, that helps. Leverage. I just gotta say though, there was a scene inside the toy shop, and that was probably the most frightening thing in the whole movie because
Yeah.
of the toys that were like
Oh,
moodily
yeah.
lit from below and thunder and
Giant
lightning.
clowns.
Yeah, and dolls falling on people.
Yeah,
Faces
breaking.
smashing
their arms.
open.
Mama. Mama.
Yeah, that'll haunt me.
Ugly villain.
Yes.
Yes.
The rat
Doesn't
and the
exactly
bat.
appeal.
He's not
Oh,
a
sorry.
rat.
We're
He's
all
a
talking.
mouse.
His name was Ratigan.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think if he hated the concept of being a rat so much, he'd, like, change his name. But, like, anytime anyone talked to him, they're like, yo, rat, again. Like,
Which was interesting. It was kind of his identity crisis. And at the end, when he's out to kill Basil, he becomes more and more rat-like until eventually he's on all fours and his clothes are like mostly taken off.
Another point for Edna. He has Kate caught in the gears of Big Ben.
Nuggets!
Death by falling.
Yep.
Yeah.
A very long, drawn-out Death by Falling
Yeah,
scene.
I was just like, oh, Daddy, we got a Death by Fall. Oh, wait, they haven't died yet. Oh, now, wait. Finally, now. Oh.
And I think we should give a round of applause for Big Ben being, animated so beautifully there.
Yeah, apparently the animators took a tour of the inside of Big Ben. They were given full access to it. But the chime, those bells ring every 15 minutes, so they were in and out of there in an hour and probably all deaf by the time it was done. But they got it pretty nicely inside there. It was a nice scene.
Alcohol.
Lots
a
of
nice
alcohol.
little fountain of wine, and then the mouse gets drunk.
And lots of smoking.
Yeah.
Like, not just Sherlock, but like the rat, and there was like cigarettes all over the place.
Basil.
Oh yeah. Basil, not Sherlock.
Yes, plenty of alcohol in the bar, too.
Who knew that mice were such drunkards? Not me.
Shady mice who work for a radar.
An epidemic of alcoholism and lung cancer among subterranean mice.
Missing parents.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have a mother.
Yeah.
It's like a little sob story, of
Pull on
course.
the heartstrings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely going for the missing parent on this one.
Dad with a stash.
Yep.
Yeah.
First, like, 10 seconds of the movie, we're like, there it is.
Yeah. Mr. Flaversham or whatever had a beautiful bushy brown stash.
Yes,
Gotta love mice with facial hair.
that's right.
Talking animals.
Yeah.
Great alternate universe going on here.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
interesting because the alternate universe of mice could all speak, but the pets in the human world, like the bloodhound,
Yeah.
And the
didn't
cat.
speak, he barked.
And the cat.
So was it just the mice were speaking mice to each other?
Maybe.
And the rat?
But the mice were wearing clothes.
And there was also a lizard in there somewhere.
Yeah.
that all spoke.
Oh, yeah, that's
Anyway,
true.
It's confusing.
It is.
But
Talking animals.
talking animals.
Yeah,
Talking
but
animals,
they-
that's all that matters.
Disney should really settle on the rules between these universes. It would
Does.
make life a lot easier for all of us.
It's imaginary.
No, it's real. So I just need to point out here as well that we have another cat, evil cat, as the villain.
Evil fat cat.
Yeah, and the good dog saving the day. So the anti-cat bias is still going on here.
Unlikely partnership. Nope.
Well,
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Sherlock and Watson.
They
I mean,
like
Basil
Basil.
and Dawson.
They liked each other. It's not Basil, it's Basil.
Basil!
Basil didn't like Watson. He didn't like anybody.
Yeah, but he brought him along. It wasn't like he was like, go away. He's like, alright, come, Dawson.
Yeah. He's just a high-functioning sociopath.
Yes. So for now, I will be the unlikely partnership Nazi.
Okay. No unlikely partnership for you.
Hidden Mickey. Yep.
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 Everywhere.
Yeah, we saw a lot of like really creative Hidden Mickeys. I mean, they weren't just like in bubbles. I mean, of course, there was the odd bubble Hidden Mickey too, but they were like drawn on the walls or on like a mouse's sleeve cuff
Yeah.
and
Fireplace.
like yeah, fireplace.
Lots of fun hidden Mickeys in this one. We just skipped over the bubbles this time. We're like, oh yeah, there's bubbles, probably hidden Mickey. Who cares? Show us the good ones.
Book intro.
No,
Nope.
it seems
No.
like the book opening has left the building, even
I
though,
think so.
again, it's based on a book.
That's based on a book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a book series, Basil of Baker Street, based on the Sherlock Holmes
Yeah.
series.
This is definitely just kind of Sherlock as mice. So this whole movie is just kind of a fan fiction.
But they didn't open any books this time.
Nope.
At the very beginning of the movie, there's this kind of horrific action scene. It is almost as traumatic as the beginning of Finding Nemo.
Yeah, they start out really heartwarming, little
Yeah.
heartwarming music,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden, there's a bat!
And he's taking the little girl's daddy away, and she's panicked.
And then all of a sudden, it just cuts to this really like uplifting, bouncy music, and we're all like,
Walt Disney presents The Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah,
I haven't recovered yet. Resurrection.
Okay, so there's the scene
Oh, yes.
right near the end. Basil falls off of Big Ben along with Ratatouille, and they go all the way down, and then we have that moment where everyone's like, he's gone.
The little girl.
But everyone knows he's not actually gone.
And then he flies up on an egg beater, and everything's fine.
That's not resurrection.
It might not be a full-on, he was dead, magic sparkles, and he's back alive, but, yeah.
I believe we've given some movies half points
Yeah.
for
How about we
imagined resurrection.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think
this
so.
time, like, usually I'm just like, oh, he's gonna show up. But this time I was just like, is he really dead?
Yeah, he fell for a long
Yeah.
time.
I'm
Well,
sure.
at least they didn't pull a Sherlock and then
Yeah.
cut the movie there and then release another one 2
Spoiler!
years later,
Spoilers.
and other things happen. Half a mark for Resurrection.
Alright then.
Okay, so let's total it up.
The final score for The Great Mouse Detective is
7.5.
yay!
Good job, Basil.
That was a lot better than I thought.
It was a lot better than last time.
Okay, so The Great Mouse Detective scores 7.5, which puts it actually surprisingly near the top of our chart.
Well, thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any thoughts about The Great Mouse Detective. Bye.
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 Now,
Bye.
we watch the movie.
There's only one that's probably bad. So sure.
Probably a music. Ooh, right.
Kind of intrigued about this one because I know.
Find some chill. Enjoyed this episode. If you enjoyed it, shoosh. Who made that sound?
My computer. I have
It's
email.
me.
What?
You have mail.
What?
You're like so angry at an inanimate object. Like Death Clare.